Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So your man Donald Trump has all but approved a second stimulus package. So is it official? Not quite, but very close. How official? Well, let's find out. So your man Donald Trump has all but approved a second stimulus package. So Donald Trump was interviewed by Scripps reporter Joe St. George on Monday, which was yesterday, and he was asked specifically whether or not the White House plans to give another cash payment to some Americans. And Trump's reply was, yeah, we are. We are. He said, we will be doing another stimulus package. And I picture him saying that in his Trump voice with the fingers, he does the okay sign. He says it'll be very good. It'll be very generous. So, you see, he didn't say exactly how much Americans could see. His only reply to that question was, you'll find out. You'll find out. So the thing is, it's unclear what the specific policies are from the White House, although he does represent the White House. They haven't specifically said officially that they plan on distributing a second payment, but behind closed doors, it's all but a foregone conclusion. And now, there have been a number of proposals from Democrats and Republicans alike that have thrown a lot of different policies on the table. Now, one of the changes that is actually going to be likely included in the very generous stimulus package is a bump up in the dependent amount. So currently, well, I should say on the last package, it was $500 per dependent. They're now discussing raising that up to $1,200 per dependent, which is a significant amount more money. In addition to that, they're also having discussions about including people who don't have Social Security numbers. There's been a bump up in the funding that's going to be provided for the first line and first aid workers. There's just a tremendous amount of additional funding that's going to be included in the second package. As a matter of fact, the talks and discussions are that this HEROES Act is going to be around $3 trillion, which is about $800 billion more than what the original CARES Act was. So what does this all mean for you guys? Well, as of right now, not much. The initial consensus is that the second package is not going to definitively be approved or hardlined on the table until the first or second week of July. So we are just right around the corner from those dates, but we still have a few weeks out before we can definitively get a hard deadline on when that package is going to be approved. But just based on the fact that the House of Representatives has already approved a package that got sent over to the Senate looked at that and said, yeah, it's a little too expensive for my blood, but we are on agreement with passing something. And then you have the trifecta with President Trump coming out yesterday stating that, yeah, we're definitely going to pass something. You pretty much already know it's a foregone conclusion that it's just a matter of time before this actually gets applied. So where do we go from here? Well, from an unemployment standpoint, we now have over 20% unemployment. Now, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, as of last month, initially reported that the unemployment rate was around 14.7%. But because of a statistical error, they acknowledged that the unemployment rate is actually closer to 20%. So because of that, the House and the Senate and the President, they're really forced to approve a second stimulus package because, quite frankly, the economy needs it. I mean, right now, the initial stimulus package was great. But what's really keeping people afloat right now is the unemployment money, right? So when you have 40 million people unemployed, that's such a ridiculous number that we haven't seen this information. We haven't seen these numbers since the Great Depression. So we're not talking about 2008. We're talking about literally the Great Depression where the entire economy went under, and it took 5 years to recover. So where do we go from here at this point? Well, we wait and see. I do think that they are going to approve it. And once they approve it, you guys are going to get a stimulus package. We're going to get one if you meet the initial requirements. There hasn't been any talks of them actually raising the requirements. I should say raising the limits. But there has been talk of them staggering the limits. So they've initially discussed keeping the current income limits to what they are. But then if you make any additional money over the $99,000, you will even still get a stimulus check, but it will be cut down like maybe 10% for like every $10,000 or so that you make. So not definitive yet, but the initial talks and discussions have been that they're going to raise it up to like almost $125,000 per person, or $250 if you're married. So this is good news, but it's a kind of a weird good news, because it's like, great, we're going to be getting money sent to us from the government, but it's because we're in Great Depression numbers. So with that said, I just hope that everyone is kind of responsible. If you do get the money, hope that you're taking this money, that you're saving it, that you're putting it on bills. If this is just kind of like it's kind of like a bump in your, I should say, in your savings or whatnot that you already have accumulated, then maybe you're putting some of it into the stock market that seems to be at all-time highs, which is ridiculous. But no matter the case, we are going to get one. It is going to be approved, and I'm looking forward to it, because I think we really need it. So I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you've gotten to the end of it, I highly recommend that you guys please make sure that you subscribe and like the video. If you are new to the channel, this is a financial education channel. I cover a lot of things related to news with finance. I also cover a lot of things related to financial education, with credit, with investing, with saving, and just overall with being really smart with your money, and just as importantly, the importance of the psychology behind money and exactly the kind of mindset that you need to be in order to save and invest in things of that nature. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.